Hi everyone, my name is Doug Pinkham and I'm president of the Public Affairs Council in Washington, D.C. We're an organization that's been around nearly 60 years, actually created at the suggestion of President Eisenhower, who felt the business community needed to learn to be more strategic about how it dealt with government and greater society. What's interesting is that we're right on K Street. Our members are corporations, big and small, as well as associations, and yet we're both nonpartisan and non-political, which frankly is a really great niche to have in Washington these days. We have roughly 630 member organizations, but in total about 7,000 people take advantage of our programs each year. Those programs include training, executive education, advice, and sharing of best practices and case studies between different companies and different industries. Some of you may be wondering, why would I want to come to Washington in 2012, in an election year, where partisanship is so bad and everyone feels so cynical, and Congress, isn't going to get a lot accomplished. We hope they pass a budget, but what's the point of coming to a fly-in? It's actually a really good opportunity to come to Washington, and one reason is because a lot of groups aren't doing fly-ins, or they're not making the right pitch. They're not handling it in the way you guys will be handling it. I also think if you have a positive story to tell that focuses on your industry's key issues of safety, security, and support for key issues that congressmen care about, you've got a good story to tell, and you're going to be able to break through the noise and probably be heard better this year than next year. When you get involved in public affairs, you have to realize this is not about getting a quick win or persuading a member of Congress or their staff with all of your logical arguments and seeing them change their vote. It's a long-term process, and you got to be in it for the long term. I think an appropriate analogy in business is that it's like risk management. The goal of an enterprise risk management program is over time looking at your entire company holistically and saying, how can we minimize our risk, maximize our opportunities, reduce costs, and be more effective, realizing it's not about a series of quick wins. And in many ways, that's what public affairs is all about. And when you do that well, you will find that over time, you will gain credibility because members of Congress and their staff come to you for information and advice, and over time, you've built trust and a very positive reputation. Now, this pays off in two ways. First of all, if you haven't faced a corporate crisis, odds are you're going to face one sooner or later. So when you face the crisis and people know who you are, the news media, policymakers, their staff, other influential folks, what's important is they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And that's huge because it means you'll get a chance to tell your side of the story. And secondly, when legislation is being talked about at the state level or at the national level, and people know who you are and you're an expert and you're trusted, you're going to have a seat at the table. There's an old saying in Washington that says that if you don't have a seat at the table, you're probably on the menu.